All right, welcome back to Currency 365. All right, so this is World News episode 3. All right, so let's get into it. This translation's a little off, but I'm going to attempt it anyways. And so let's begin here. Iraq displays sovereign bonds for sale. Okay. Scheduled to travel a senior government delegation, including ministers, officials, and experts in the financial and economic affairs next week to the United States and Britain to discuss the issue of Iraq's sovereign bonds. Okay, and to explain the ability of the country to fulfill obligations to investors, okay, who seek those bonds in the markets. Okay, it says high level government sources. Okay, and let's see. Okay, it says that the government delegation will travel next Monday, accompanied by a credit rating talks team. Interesting. Says to the United States and to the UK to clarify Iraq's ability to fulfill its obligations to investors who want Iraqi and international promotion, I guess. All right. So, in a move that serves the welfare of economic reform measures and to maximize state revenues. Okay. So, once again, these are under the economic reforms that our body is putting toward the country or is demanding because of the citizens. Okay, it's really the citizens that are absolutely in control, but our body's doing it because also he knows his timeline is ticking here. Iran is about to come off of sanctions late October, November, and they need to make sure, Iraq needs to make sure they're done before Iran is lifted off of sanctions. Okay, because it's going to hurt them badly if they're not. So this is what's going on, and the bonds are a great thing, especially when they're talking to people outside of their country about them. It says the source says that the delegation will include government and finance ministers, oil and governor of the central bank, and the consultant of experts in the economic and financial chain officials to discuss the process of issuing sovereign bonds, government bonds in the global financial market. Okay. And these could be disguised as international bonds as well, because you're talking about the global market and you're saying sovereign bonds. Sovereign bonds can also doesn't have to be. It's not sovereign bonds could be international bonds too. They don't have to. Usually, when they talk about bonds for the country, they call them domestic bonds. So these are talking about sovereign bonds. Okay, so could be the international bonds. A lot of times they don't want to say international because that will give it away that they need a rate, they need a global market, and they need a reality market, okay, economy to be able to sell international bonds. So they call them sovereign bonds, which is another way to say international bonds as well, because it's saying. I mean, they're also saying in the global market, financial market. Okay. So let's see. So the source noted that the Iraqi government delegation held talks in Turkey during last June to promote sovereign bonds to be issued by Iraq. Okay, stressing that the delegation held meetings with representatives of international banks. That's the key. Another key. So representatives with international banks. So we already know that the global financial market will be a part of this sovereign government bonds, and now we also know that international banks will be a part of this. Okay, so that tells you that these are international bonds. Okay, and they're going to be holding talks with U.S. and Britain about these international bonds. Okay, so it says that the international bonds also reviewed by Financial and Economic, Political, and Security of Iraq report. Okay, remember they have the security has to be right for to do a lot of these things, and and that's what's coming from Dr. Shabibi. All right, it says the source said that the talks with companies has a credit rating and an international tribunal, Moody's and Fitch, in order to determine the credit rating of Iraq in international capital markets. Also held talks with British companies, ratings, and contacts to get a credit rating. So we know they have a credit rating. The source indicated that Iraq's current credit rating within the group was a B, and that is from Fitch. We still haven't had Moody credit rating, and I think there's what's the other group? Can't remember their names. But there's three of them. We've had one. Let's wait till the other two give out. I don't know what the other two are waiting for. Maybe they're waiting for the reforms to give Iraq a better score. Who knows? Okay, it says knowing that the delegation will explain the possibilities and Iraq's oil exports. Okay, so that's good. And then I got another piece here, and this is from an article. It says the Iraqi Prime Minister Abadi, a heavy legacy of corruption and corrupt people piled up during the reign of his predecessor, Nouri al-Maliki, making way for reforms is filled with obstacles and mines. Okay. It says a body formed special committees to open files of the central bank. Shabibi sacked former county. I don't know what this. I don't know if that meant country. I don't know, but it says county, and mirrored by charges of him by mafia corporations that dominate in that period. Okay, so once again, they're saying that Shabibi was sacked, and wrongfully sacked and thrown in prison by Maliki's regime and corrupted people, and they have opened up the investigations on this again to clear his name, Dr. Shabibi's name, and also to charge everybody in the central bank that has done something wrong with money laundering and all types of things. Okay, so that's good news that they're opening that up. We said that we knew that was going to happen sooner or later. Okay, so let's see what happened at the three presidencies meeting that ended with a smile. That's what they're saying here. So it says the three presidency meeting ends with a smile. I guess this is going to be all Iraq for this world news. Okay. It says Iraq's three presidency meeting and security situation and file reforms and ways to strengthen state building and issues related to the completion of the legislation. Okay. It says that the conference expressed their support for practical steps that meet the interests of the Iraqi people to accomplish what was voted on government and parliamentary reforms. The prime minister stressed the need to go all the reforms. Okay, it's basically to get all the reforms carried out in accordance with the Constitution and law. See, this is the vital part right there. The Constitution, it's in their Constitution to open and launch their budget into and open and launch a market global economy. I don't think people realize that. It's in their Constitution to launch a global market economy. Okay, it's not in their Constitution to stay dormant and poor and to keep their purchasing power at worthless levels. They're supposed to have a global market economy. This is what they're supposed to do. Okay, so people are saying, "Oh, Iraq will never do anything." No, it's in their constitution to launch a global market economy and be on the global stage. Why? Because they have a lot of oil. And they're right now they're at the all-time drilling mark. Okay, yes, the prices are low and they're about to get even lower when Iran comes on, most likely, unless war happens and and the prices go up. But the Iraq's constitution says they have to launch a global market economy. So it's like, you got Maliki over here saying he's done nothing wrong, but yet they don't have a global market economy, which is in their constitution. So it's like, man, I mean, people get fooled so easily these days. I mean, can you guys just read the Constitution of Iraq? Okay, it's in their constitution to launch a global market economy, point blank. So when you got somebody that's been there 6, 7 years and they still don't have a global market economy, and he's saying that he's done nothing wrong, there's something wrong about that person mentally. Okay. And for you to even believe I mean, some of you guys still believe that Maliki has done nothing wrong. I mean, goodness gracious. It says the prime minister stressed the need to go all out for the reforms. Okay, and he praised the military operations led by the Iraqi army and security forces and members of the popular crowd and the Peshmerga and the sons of tribes of Anbar and Peggy multiple areas in Iraq. The meeting felt the importance of the completion of key legislation, including the National Guard law and the federal court and the National Reconciliation law. The meeting also stressed that the economic and financial side is one of the priorities of the executive and legislative bodies that are being focused on reforms in the file, stressing that the provision of essential service to the Iraqi citizens is located within the basic obligations that state institutions seeking to implement them. All right, so point blank, my people, the people of Iraq are demanding purchasing power, and they're supposed to already have it. Okay, and we need to get back to the global stage. Okay, so let's continue on. It's going to be all Iraq. I'm not seeing anything that I really want to talk about that is other than Iraq right now. Let me actually check the Wall Street since this is global markets. Let me check the Wall Street and see what's going on. Um, All right, so Wall Street's actually the Dow Jones is actually up right now as I'm speaking. I'm trying to see how much though. It's not telling me for some reason. It's still loading. All right, so the Nasdaq is up as well. Oil prices are continuing to fall here. They were actually up earlier, and now they went from $49 a barrel all the way down to $44 a barrel. So it's in between that 38. It's like 38 to 48 range right now. So it's 43.4. Gold is down. Let's see. It's like a deflation that's going on around the world. If you guys haven't noticed that, some type of deflation measures. Maybe it's to launch the new system. I don't know what it is there, but everything's deflating. Okay, even the precious metal prices. You would think they would be going the other way, but they're not. Okay, and even at the gas pumps. Okay, we're at $40 a barrel, but you're still paying $3, $4, $5 for gas. Okay, so I mean, of course, regular is like 250, between 250 to 270, but that's still even high at $40 a barrel. Okay, I remember $40 a barrel. We were at what, $1.50, $1.25. Okay, 99 cents. Okay, so we're way too high right now at the pumps, and they're probably doing it on purpose because they know that we're still going to pump gas regardless of the price. Okay, so it is what it is. I guess it shouldn't be, but it is what it is. All right, so that's the market news. I'm not sure what's going on around the world on that, but I just wanted to at least get the Dow Jones and the U.S. markets in play and what's going on with gold and silver. I think continues to be at a low mark. Okay, so let's see here. All right, criminal court issued a ruling detained Al Maliki on charges of abusing his position. All right, this is Maliki's cousin. Oh, they're all corrupted. So just when you put the name Al Maliki, just say corruption. All of that. All right, so Maliki's cousin being charged with corruption, some type of abuse of power and money, or something like that. Let's see, parliamentary economy. There is no fear on the Iraqi currency, and the balance in 2016 is still the financial. Well, it'll be interesting to see what the 2016 budget is going to look like, especially if they revalue either in September or October or November. I don't even want to say November. Goodness gracious, that's what, let's just keep it September, October, and let's just keep the hope alive that we're going to see it and that Iraq's going to do the right thing, okay, before Iran comes back full steam ahead. Okay. Let's see, the issuance of arrest warrant cousin Nir al-Maliki. Okay, we just talked about that. All these guys are being arrested. Iraq poised to meet investors ahead of crucial bond sales. That's good news for us. And also, let's see what these banks are: Citibank, J.P. Morgan, Chase Bank. I think okay, so J.P. Morgan, Chase Bank are combined, I guess, and Deutsche Bank. See, I think this is why they might want to come out the Dutch or the German way, because Deutsche Bank is even part of these bonds. So man, I don't know. I don't even know if that's even has anything to do with it. I don't even know. I just saw Deutsche Bank, and I was like, okay, they want to come out as the Deutschmark. I don't know. I don't even think it has anything to do with it. But the bonds are 6 billion, and these are international bonds. They're gonna need a rate, and they're gonna need a global market economy, and they're gonna need to launch their private sector. So that's good news for us. If they're already talking to investors about it, they're probably trying to engage in investors' interest. But of course, investors are going to be interested in international bonds for Iraq if they launch their private sector, the global market economy, and revalue the currency. Point blank. Everybody's going to, I mean, those bonds are going to go fast. If you don't do anything, you're not going to get anybody to buy those bonds, though. You got to have an attractive currency rate for people to buy those bonds. You can't have a worthless currency. I mean, and it's true, because they can barely sell the domestic bonds right now because their currency is worthless. You see what I'm saying? So the Iraqi people are looking at them like, man, how you gonna try to sell us bonds at 10 at 95 when we know that you about to revalue with the international bonds? You see what I'm saying? So they can't even sell the domestic bonds, but here they are talking about international bonds. Okay, so oh man. Let's see what else we can find here. The formation of a committee of leading operations and the protection of the green zone to open the streets. Okay, well, yep. I mean, it'd be good to open the green zone up and get the streets, the markets, and everything going there, and remove the corruption. That's good. It says the parliamentary power, the price of barrel of oil in the budget of 2016 will be around 40 to $45 a barrel. Man, weren't we saying to put the oil at $50 a barrel for 2015 budget? What do they put it at? 50. Did they put it at $56 a barrel? I think they put it at $56 a barrel. Well, I mean, it's still too high for me. I think you should have put it. I think 50 would have been safe. They put it around $56 a barrel. Okay, whatever. And they're gonna be even lower for next year's budget. You know what? For me, man, I would put it at 30, and I would just keep it at 30, man. Just keep. You don't know what's gonna happen next year. Just keep it at 30. I think 40, 45 is even too high because it's at that right now, and we're not even in winter yet. So. They're gonna be issuing like 500,000 smart cards or something for displaced people. They've been issuing out a lot of these smart cards, and I don't even know what these smart cards are for. I mean, they're smart cards. I don't know if they're smart cards that are able to get them cash. Okay, but it says it's coming from the Rafidian and Rashid Bank. So, are these cards that can get them cash and have money in them? I don't know. I don't know what these smart cards are. Okay, so the issuance of trillion dinars to stimulate the economy. We've been talking about that forever. They still haven't done it yet. And let's see, what else can we talk about here? It says something about the popular crowd with the National Guard. Okay, yeah. So basically, the U.S. is pressuring a body to keep Maliki's regime and people away from the National Guard. Okay, which might could be a smart thing. You know, keep the what's the state law coalition. Keep the state law coalition, Maliki's people away from the National Guard law. Okay, they don't want to pass it anyway, so you might as well keep them out of it anyways. Okay, and then maybe the whole National Alliance might need to be staying away from them. Maybe I think maybe Hakeem probably the only one that can actually be part of this National Guard law, because it seems like Hakeem is the only one that actually cares about uniting the country in the National Alliance. Okay, everybody else seems like they're corrupted, Shiites, and they just want to stay corrupted. Okay, And it's not just the Shiites that are corrupted. The Sunnis are corrupted, and they're acting like they're Sunnis, but they're really been bribed by Shiites. And then of course also the Kurds are corrupted as well. The whole country's corrupted, and then we're dealing with one corrupted country that we're trying to get some type of alliance or some type of structure so they can be able to launch everything they need to launch for the revaluation and for their market and to give their citizens purchasing power and get back on the global stage. All right, guys, Currency 365. I'm out. Peace.